stance. The purpose of the drill is to teach the correct three-point stance to all the players. All right, so now we're going to do the drill. So we have our 4 players. Feet. So the players are stomping, getting their feet comfortably shoulder width apart. Let's slide. So we're getting to the instep. So the foot that they're sliding back with is the hand that they're going to end up going down with. So they're getting to the instep with their toes. All right, squeeze. So they're getting their shoulders locked in, that upper back posture. Then we're going to sink. So as we sink, you see how my player is here? We want to get our elbows to mid-thigh and kind of rest on it, men. Kind of rest on it. So you don't have to hold yourself up. You actually want to be in like a seated position like you're in a chair. If you're watching me do it, you would have your feet apart, you would slide, you would squeeze, and then I'm sitting in that position. It's almost like I'm sitting in a chair. You see how comfortable Quentin is right here? His elbows, put pressure on those thigh boards like you're sitting on them. Put pressure on them. Down. So the hands go out. Good coaching point right here. We see the forward lean right here. We want the back to stay this way. So don't allow the player to put too much weight forward, because what that's going to do is end up pulling his butt up, and it's hard for him to see his target point at that point. So we have good flat back. We're in good position. We can stay right there. So coaches, we all know we want players to be able to play multiple positions. So whether it's right side, left side, if they're playing center, all these different positions, they need to know how to do it from a number of different sides. So we just did our right side. Now we're going to do our left side. So now we're going to do feet, slide, squeeze. Now we're going to sink, getting our sink. Now we're going to go down. Perfect. That's our stance. Feet, slide. They're getting to the instep with their toes. Squeeze. So they're getting their shoulders locked in, that upper back posture. Sink. Put pressure on those thigh boards like you're sitting on them. Down. So we have good flat back. We're in good position. Nice job. All right, this is the get-off drill. So the purpose of the drill is to get all the appropriate footwork for whatever blocks you use in your scheme. So we'll get the men down in the position, and we'll start off with a straight-ahead block. And then you'll turn them at a 45-degree angle. You can even get them to open up in a pull. But your basic premise is you want to get the guys from their stance, working their get-off. That's going to be their first 2 steps. So we talk about in football your lead step or your timer step being important, but honestly, the second step is the most important for an offensive lineman. Being able to get that second step down. So if you're in a right-handed stance, going to your right, you may have a timer or you may have a lead. Whatever it is, that second step is the key to an explosive step, and that's what we're looking to do. So we'll get down in our stance. We're going to go straight ahead, and it's going to be a 2-step process. So go. Good. All right, line back up. So let's get in the left stance, so our left foot will be back. So go. Good. Quick steps. Now let's do a 45-degree to the right. 2-step process. Let's go ahead and get in our stance. So go. Good. All right, guys, let's go to our left now. Our left hand is on the ground. Now we're going to go to our left on a 45-degree angle. So go. Good. It's like pissing, driving the engine. Fast feet, right? Your feet got to be in the ground fast. But you're watching their footwork. The first 2 steps are going to be the key to getting themselves set on the proper angle. Point of emphasis, we're going to have a good stance. Back is flat. Head is up. Butt is down. Fast feet, right? Your feet got to be in the ground fast. So go. Good. Quick steps. All right, coaches, this drill is the strike drill. We're going to start the drill as if we've already gotten in our stance and we've already gotten in our get-off position. So as we're emphasizing, what we're talking about to our players is where their hands are going to strike, right? It's going to be tight inside that body frame. We're thinking of the bottom part of the shoulder pads, so we're going to put the tight pad to their body. We're also going to talk about the thumbs being up. As the player is striking, their thumbs need to be up. This is our power. We can use our lats We can use our strength. Our elbows are going to be in. And we want to finish the block with our hands above our eyes. Our hands got to be above our eyes, so that allows us not to do this. We don't ever want to be diving off a diving board, right? As we're striking, we want to be bam inside so that we're looking up. We have a good strike angle right there. As he strikes, he wants the pad level of the defender to rise. It's not as important going back. We always talk about driving someone with the ball, but to start that, you got to get them on the rise. You want to shock their system where the player comes up and then has to reset themselves. So go. Good. That's really good. Look, good short step. His eyes are below his hands. His thumbs are in. Now, little bit of torque right there, and we're perfect. That's where the power is going to come from the player. So go. There you go. That's a nice strike right there. Again, keep those elbows tight. Coaching point. You don't want your players extended, right? You want those elbows short. If a player is extended and he gets this way, he's giving the defender the separation the defender's looking for, right? Defensive players are taught, keep separated. You'll see him strike and hold you out. So you don't want to do the benefit for him, right? You want to make sure he earns it. So as you strike and you're in here, you want those elbows bent. So as the player tries to go away, then you can enter your finish. But as you're here and you're striking, those elbows need to be in and tight. Tight inside. Elbows are going to be in. Hands above our eyes. Thumb up. So go. Good. The drill name is stick, and the purpose of the drill is to focus on the hip action that's needed to generate movement in the block. We're going to get in our stance. Your hands are going to be extended. So what we're trying to do is create that hip generation of coming up. So you'll start out more extended than you really would want to be in a block. But we're allowing them to do this so that they catch their hips up to learn that snapping motion. We want that hip action, that snapping motion. So coaches, the bag going up doesn't really help us. We want our hands down on the corners, leaning into it like it will be real. You're never going to get a kid that high, right? So we want that natural motion. So hold the bag like we got it. Lean into it, brace yourself back with your back foot. Be ready for him to push. Sink down. Set, go. Nice. Rub that hips action. You're watching those hips on the rise. So that's going to be our hands in, our thumbs up, our eyes are below, and our hips are running to catch up on the block. You want to see that hip snap. Throw that thing in. Hands above your eyes. Set, go. Nice. All right, the drill we're teaching now is the finish drill. And the purpose of this drill is to show the footwork and the hip action once a player's already fitted in a strike and been seated on the block, how they're going to finish it. And we know as we're looking, we want our eyes below our hands. We want the player lifting, his hips rising to drive that player back so that when the defensive player goes to reach to make the play, he's getting finished. The offensive player can actually take them to the ground or push them past the gap or out of the area. So let's go ahead and run the drill. Set, go. Drive, 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 drive. Good job, good job. So again, make sure you watch your players rise, right? Some players, you saw how the hips close the distance. Again, shrinking that ability for the defensive player to be able to slide off, but that player should still be pressing up. You know, when you get older, you'll talk about a power clean, a guy getting snapped and then finishing that power clean with a press. That's the press that we're looking for in it. You're not stepping or taking unproductive steps. The players want to be on the balls of their feet. As the player is driving, you don't want to see them get up on their toes. You want it to be on the instep portion of their feet, and they want to be fast. You want those feet moving. They don't have to gain as much ground as they need to be moving to keep constant pressure on the player. So that those feet are moving like pistols on the instep, they may be only gaining a little bit of ground, and as the player gives, they'll gain more ground. But when it first begins, it'll almost be like a stalemate, like a true block when a guy engages to be able to really finish the guy. Those feet got to be moving on the instep. You don't want them on the toes. That's where they can get slung down and defensive linemen can shed them. You don't want a guy to be easily shed. So let's go ahead and try it right now. Get down in that good position, hands on the bag. Get your hands on it, thumbs above your eyes. You're going to look up. Set, go. Fast feet, good. Engage with the bag. Thumbs should be above your eyes. You're going to have pistons, fast and furious. Drive, 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 drive. Good job, good job. Those feet got to be moving on the instep. Set, go. That's nice job, nice job. All right.
The beauty of the heads-up blocking system is once we've taught and mastered our 5 fundamentals, we can apply these in each and every blocking situation. This gives us a unique and quick way to teach all of our drills. If we wanted to teach a drive block, we'd start in a great stance, take a perfect angle step on our get-off to put ourselves in position to make the block. We'd strike with our hands, we'd stick the hips, and we'd finish. We can combine all our drills to teach this quickly versus a bag. I'll come out and take my towel and put it to represent that 4 to 6 inch power step I want my offensive linemen today. I'll have my players come out and grab the shield as if they would for the stick or the strike drill. He'll be over the bag like the finish drill, again, combining all 5 parts. My offensive lineman will start in a great 3-point stance. He's going to take his positional step on get off and be accurate by hitting the towel on the ground. He's then going to strike, stick, and finish by accelerating his feet, driving over bag. Let's take a look. Set, go, step, strike, stick, finish. We can also utilize the same setup for our skill position. This drill doesn't only work for offensive linemen, but also for our running backs, H-backs, and blocking tight ends. I'll take my towel that I use for my position step on the get off and move it back into the backfield for a perfect lateral step. My running back will be in a high 2-point stance 4 yards off the line of scrimmage like he normally is. He'll take his directional step, keeping a great pad level, he'll close the distance on the blocker. But from that point, even though he's in a different stance and using a different get off, everything else is the same. He strikes with both hands, thumbs up, elbows in. He sticks the hips into the block to take away the space, and he finishes with acceleratory footwork over the bag. Let's take a look. And go, step, and strike, stick, finish. That's it right there. We can also use the same drill setup for down blocks, kick out blocks, or any block within our playbook.